I don't know if you can see that. We've got to add 35 miles to it. Hey, it's Jeff at 650 Cycle, and you're with me today because for the third year in a row, I'm going to hit 10,000 miles of riding. And I wanted to bring you along with me on that experience for this year. Last year, I made 10,000 miles on November 11th, and I was working on the 1,500 miles I put on my Virago, and there was some super cold mornings because there's zero wind protection on that bike. But on this bike, it's great. I have enough wind protection that it's really not too bad. I mean, I dress for it, but also I'm not getting pummeled with wind. So yeah, 3 years. The Harley has been the difference for me. Before that, my average was right around 8,000, 7,500, 8,000 miles a season. And those are all commuter miles. I ride in the summertime. I ride every day. I ride everywhere I go. If I'm going anywhere, I'm on the bike. So the difference has been the Harley. Adding 2,000 miles or so with trips. The first year, a couple buddies and I went down to the Blue Ridge, and then we went to Cherry Hollow Skyway, Tennessee, Tail of the Dragon area. It was a nice trip, and it really helped me figure out that interstate riding is kind of fun. I like it. So the next year, Carla and I went out to Pennsylvania. We have a friend who lives out the other side towards Maryland area, and we went out and stopped and saw them, and you know, we made a whole week of it. And this year we went to St. Louis, and then up through Iowa and Wisconsin, Green Bay, up through the Michigan's Upper Peninsula. So the difference in me hitting 8,000 miles and 10,000 miles has been this bike right here, and it's been those 1,800, 2,000 mile trips. Not only that, but we have a cabin up in the UP, and it's 500 miles round trip, and I think I was up there twice this year on the bike. So it's, you know, that's 1,000 miles. And I may or may not have done that on other bikes. I know I was up there on the GL before, but 10,000 miles for 3 years in a row. I was telling somebody at work that, and they were like, I don't even put 10,000 miles in my car. And I was thinking 10,000 miles wasn't that great. I think I would be really, really impressed if it was 10,000 miles of touring that got me to this point, but it's not. It's somewhere between 7,000 and 8,000 miles of riding back and forth to work and short trips and whatnot. Sort of afternoon, Sunday afternoon type stuff, and this kind of thing, just kind of going out and feeling the bike between my legs. My daughter had, over by her, there was a bike for sale. It was a 2014 Ultra Classic. Absolutely beautiful bike that had a custom paint job. Like I said, a beautiful bike. Somebody else enjoying the day. Nice. Really fantastic looking bike. It was a 14, which means it's almost 10 years old. And it had 8,000 miles on it. And when I stopped and looked at it, I was like, I got 8,000 miles already this year. I don't know, some people buy a bike to park in the garage, I guess. I don't know. To each his own. I'm going to ride. This bike is absolutely filthy right now. Every chance, every time it gets nice enough that I could wash it, I go for a ride instead. This last month I've been like, ooh, I got to get some miles so that I hit 10,000. because I don't want to be riding in the cold November days. And so I've been trying to go out and ride as much as possible. Last week on Friday, I took my favorite local ride, Pine River down to St. Louis, and then 46 across. I cannot wait to do that on my Honda. In case you didn't know, I bought a Honda CB500F a month or so ago. And I don't think it was a month ago. It was in October, so sometime this month. It's late enough in the season that I was like, I don't want to put insurance on it, and I have to pay for it all winter because it'll be March before I can get it back out. So as painful as it was to not ride, it's also would have been painful to ride because that bike has zero wind protection on it. It doesn't even have a windshield. And that bike it's a 16 and it has 18,000 miles on it. So I got it as a commuter bike because I've been putting 8,000 miles of commute bike miles on a touring bike, and I feel like they're unnecessary miles for this bike. All of them are. Some of them maybe, but. So I got a commuter bike. I'm excited to ride it, excited for the difference. The other thing about this is that I'm at the point of putting almost, 30,000. I got like 29,000 on it after today, since I've got it in 3 years. So for some reason, it seems like when I hit that 60,000 miles and 30,000 on a bike, I get a different bike. It's not intentional, but it just seems like that's what happens. Farmers are out in full harvest in this area, taking advantage of the nice weather for the weekend. The dog park where I take the dog is right next to the grain elevator, and they were lined up dumping loads of corn today. So that's what's happening in this area, this neck of the woods. What are we at? We're somewhere around 50 degrees today. I wasn't supposed to get this warm. It didn't look like it was going to be a very nice day, so I was kind of thinking that this was going to happen next week. Beginning of the week is cold. Like Tuesday, they're calling for a snow mix, and I'm like, yo. But the end of the week doesn't look too bad for commuting on a bike, so I was thinking, I'll just wait till Thursday or Friday, and then I got looking at the weather and temperature today, and I was like, it's pretty nice out. I'm going to go for a ride. I hate four-way stops. This is a road that I ride a lot. If I'm headed in the northern direction, depending on where I'm going, there is an interstate that way. Like, I don't even think it's a mile over there. I-75, and this runs parallel to it. But I only have some morons on this road. I-75 has all of the morons, and I don't like riding on it. This has been a pretty good bike as far as, I don't know, needing things. Since I got it, I have put a starter clutch in it, which I understand is a common fail for these bikes. I had to put a wheel bearing in it this spring, The radio quit working last year, and I just have not replaced it or repaired it. I don't know. I've spent so many years riding without. It's kind of nice when it works, but it's like I don't know if I really want to get it fixed. Although this summer, when we went for a ride, my wife was like, "I wish we had a radio." I was like, "Yeah, I know." So there's that. Other side of St. Louis, 5 o'clock traffic, 4 lanes of expressway. I was 3 lanes out, started making all kinds of racket, so I pulled off. Found out that one of the spark plugs had unthreaded. Thankfully it just unthreaded, it didn't tear the threads out. But it wasn't there anymore. After 2 years, it decided it didn't want to hang around. And left me stranded on the side of the road. It was interesting. You meet some interesting people in situations like that. Found a guy that was willing to take me to the parts store, which is a few miles up the road, just to get a $5 spark plug, right? You think it's ridiculous. Well, it is ridiculous, but that's how it works. I don't know why it happened. It just happened. It surprised me. I had no idea. It gave no indication that it was backing out. It just took off. So, I don't know. I don't know if that's a common problem, like the starter clutch and the radio, but it was just weird. I wouldn't say they've been 30,000 problem-free miles, but mostly problem-free. I know the camera does not do the colors justice. A lot of the color is down already. There's some red and orange over there. A lot of yellows this year. I didn't see a lot of red like there usually is, so. Up to the UP last weekend. I didn't ride the bike, but I went up there, and that's what I saw was a lot of yellows and lighter orange color. I don't know if that means anything. Like, does it mean the winter's going to be hard? I don't have a clue. I sure hope it means a mild winter. Says I have 62 miles remaining to empty, and I've only got to go 25 miles, so I think I should be able to make it without having to put gas in it today. That just means the next time I go out, I'm going to have to put gas in it. I might ride end of the week. I might commute. Depends on what the temp is in the morning. It's weird, you don't think that, 5 degrees would make that much difference, but I don't really mind all that much riding in 42 degrees. But 38's starting to get kind of cold. In fact, somebody at work was like, "You didn't ride today?" I was like, "It was 32 degrees out." They're like, "So, you rode the other day?" I said, "Yeah, it was 38. And they were laughing. But really, there is a difference in temperature when you're on the bike. You are getting wind, some wind. I have this set up with the lowers on, and so it's not as bad, but you still do get wind and cold, and when it's 32 degrees, that means that if any water on the road, there's a chance it's frozen. And I stepped out to let the dog out that morning, and I was like, no, I'm not riding in this cold temperature. I may be stupid, but I'm not dumb. Maybe I am. Yeah, it was so nice out Friday. I saw quite a few bikes out. Yeah, you can see the cars over there maybe. That's I-75. It's probably less than half a mile at this point. It's not a terribly exciting road. It's not bad right now. You see some fall colors. In the summertime, everything's green, the corn's growing. You know, you might come down one time, the corn's only knee high, and the next time you come down, you can't see over it. And I don't know, I kind of like seeing that stuff. I could turn around right now and go home, and it would get me to that 35 miles. But just up here, maybe a mile, I can make a left, and I can ride in a circle, more or less. It's going to put me just over, which is cool. It's a nice day out. It's not a bad day for a ride. So we're definitely going to hit it. I will celebrate when I hit that 10,000 miles. Here's that turn. We're 20 miles into the 35 that we needed. So we will definitely hit it. There's the cannabis factory, Pencana. Don't smell like weed today. Sometimes you drive by here and it's like, ooh. Oh, there it is. Wind must be blowing the other direction or something. I don't know. Caught a whiff of it. In case you don't know, in Michigan it is legal. I don't know all the laws regarding it. I know you can grow it and process it and sell it and smoke it and have it on you and all that, so. The town over Bay City, they turned almost every old bank, every abandoned bank branch, they turned most of those into dispensaries. They fully embraced it in Bay City. Like Midland, which I live halfway in between Bay City and Midland. Midland, I think, has a couple, but not near the volume that Bay City has. So, I don't know. I think it comes down to local ordinances and things. I don't know. But apparently Midland does not want a large cannabis industry. And Bay City said, yeah, we'll take it. So you remember that light we stopped at? If we headed straight south, that was 9 Mile. I don't think it goes all the way through though, but if you were able to head straight south, that road we just passed is 9 Mile. Next one up is Garfield, which Auburn sits between 9 Mile and Garfield. Fun fact of the day. It says 18 miles to 10. I'm at 22 miles, so that's going to be, I'm going to be 5 miles over my goal. How awesome is that? Am I going to have enough gas? It says I have 49 miles to empty, so there's been a couple times I've run it up and it gets to 10 miles an hour, and then just after that just says low. I bought a motorcycle from there one time. The people were moving out, so it wasn't those people. But I came by there and there was a XS 750 sitting there. And there was nobody around, so I just left a note on it. The guy called me and sold me the bike. I think he was a little disappointed though, because the title, he had signed it and dated it when he bought the bike a couple years before. So when we go to transfer it into my name, we go over to the Secretary of State. He had to pay sales tax on top of, and a late fee and all of that. So most of what I paid him went towards that. I don't think he was particularly happy about all of that. You never date a title until like 2 days before until you're at the DMV and they're at the Secretary of State, and then you date it for 2 days prior. I would never do that. I know people do, but I would never do that. 10 more miles. I like the 6 gear on this bike, but you have to be going, like, if you're just running 60 miles an hour, it's too high of a gear and it chugs pretty hard. So you gotta kind of you gotta have the speedometer at 65, which I think is like 62. I don't know, there's some weird conversion there. It's not actually 65, but the closer you are to 70, the better this 6 gear feels. And if you're under 60, it chugs really bad. So it's kind of pointless. Typically, if I'm less than 60 miles an hour on the... Sorry, I got distracted. I saw a square body. Typically, if I'm less than 60 miles an hour on the speedometer, I drop down to 5th gear. The bike just runs smoother. It's great when you're on the expressway and you're running 80 miles an hour, that 6th gear. And I guess that's why they put it in there. I'm not sure if they changed the gearing on any of the rest of the transmission or if they just threw 6th gear on it. I really don't know. I'm not a Harley guy. I'm not a Harley historian. I don't like following vehicles like this because I can't see what's going on in front of them. You can't see through the windows or anything. And nobody can see me. I pull out and that big side mirror is blocking me from anybody seeing me, so I try not to ride behind them. The other thing is that they create a lot of wind buffeting. So it's just a matter of personal preference, but some people don't mind, but I do. Plus they make tons of stops coming into Crump, so there's no point in passing right now. Maybe he'll turn, I don't know. Yeah, the little town's named Crump. There's a John Deere dealer, a gas station, another party store, and I think I know there's at least one bar, but there's also the VFW hall here, or the American Legion, and I think they just opened up it's either a bar or a restaurant right here on the corner. Seems like a pretty popular place. And great, he's gonna go straight, so I get to follow him some more. I'm gonna have to put my feet down. God! Now I gotta catch up to this guy and try to pass him. This is supposed to be relaxing, and these people are not making this a relaxing experience for me. I'm getting a little worked up. Yuck. I hate those years of Monte Carlos or Z34s or whatever they are. I don't like them at all. Oh, good. Hopefully he actually does make a left, and he doesn't just turn his four-ways on and stop in the middle of the road like they do. Yeah, I don't have to pass him. Nice. People think Harleys are slow, and they're not. They're not sport bikes, but they're not slow. I think a lot of times I surprise people because when the light turns green, I go and I accelerate what I feel like is a good pace on this. And a lot of times, like the car next to me is just like going really slow. And eventually they'll pass me because they want to go faster than me. But like, I wasn't trying to drag race. I just was, light turned green, let's go. And for not being known for being fast, I wouldn't say it's fast, but it's faster than what a lot of people think. I'm getting close. I'm 4 miles. I'm way more than 4 miles from home. Ooh, what have we got? Oh. I have no idea what it is. I'm guessing a Sportster, but I don't know. It says we're less than 41 miles till empty. And I have maybe 10 miles to go. It might not even be that far. I got 2 miles till I've rolled 10,000. So don't turn the video off yet. Should I stop and do a happy dance in the middle of the road? I don't know if I really feel like doing that today. I kind of just want to get home. I'm not like cold, but like I did most of my chores this morning. But I still got a few things I got to do that I didn't get done. So woohoo, 34. 1 more mile. And we're at 10,000 for the year. 2 weeks before last year. Last year it was November 11th. I was with my wife at the Applebee's on November 11th and got my free veterans dinner. I don't do that all the time, but every once in a while. Just hit 10,000 miles for the year. My odometer just rolled over to 35, which 635 was my mark I started the season at 51,635 miles. I just rolled 61,635 miles. So I have hit my 10,000 miles for the season riding. All on this bike too. That's 10,000 miles on this bike. 3 years in a row, 10,000 miles. Pretty stoked. It was a lot of years before I hit that 10,000 mark. So I'm excited that I did it 3 years in a row. Woohoo! Pressure's off. I don't have to get up on a cold morning and ride. I can take the truck on a cold morning, wait for a slightly less cold morning to ride. I did it. Awesome. Super excited. So I need to wash this tomorrow. This last month, I don't think it's gotten a bath, maybe once. And when you ride and it's wet and stuff, it just builds up this crud all over the bike. I've ridden in rainy, wet, cold. This grime on the bike. So the pipes look terrible. The top of the saddlebags look like there was like muddy water splashed over. It looks like I've been riding down dirt roads, and I haven't. Right now it looks like it's got 10,000 miles on it for the year without a bath. But I do wash it. Trust me, I do wash it. But I didn't buy a Harley so that I could wash it. I bought a Harley to ride, and ride it I have. 30,000, almost 30,000. I'm about, let's see, or maybe 800, 6, 7, 8, yeah, probably 800 miles from 30,000. It ain't happening this year, but we're well into 29,000 miles on this bike. Nice, I did it. I'm pretty excited. I don't know if you can tell. Uh-oh, my gas light came on. Which means I don't know what's it. Ooh, it says 31 now. Usually it comes on at like 35 when it thinks I have 35 miles left. I only need 4. Costco. I always get gas at Costco. It's 4 miles down the road. So if I have 4 miles worth of gas, I can get to Costco. I use Costco gas because it's the cheapest gas around. It's typically 30 cents more 4 miles away here in Auburn. Explain that. I don't know what dictates the price of gas. In Midland, it's typically pretty close to the same price as Costco, but not Auburn. If you're gonna gas up in Auburn, you're gonna pay for it. That sign says 56 degrees. Not sure I agree with that. My temp gauge looks like it's closer to 45, but I don't know how accurate that is. It's oh, the Popo is sitting at the family dentistry. Cracks me up. They'll sit there on the weekends, but they don't sit there during morning traffic. The high school, the middle school, and the elementary is just down the street. They don't park out and monitor traffic during those times when people are being idiots. It's 25 through here. Typically, most people are doing 35 to 40. Let's just say I am super happy right now. 10,000 miles, 10,000 miles. That was not the smoothest turn ever. It wasn't even a good turn. Yay! We did it. I did it. None of you helped. I'm going to wash it, and tomorrow we're going to find a spot for it in the pole barn. Oh, there we go. 10,000 miles this season. All on the Harley Davidson. Let's take a look. If you look down in here, I don't know if you can see it, but absolutely filthy. Absolutely filthy. Appallingly dirty. So, that's what riding in the rain does. 10,000 miles, we made it. Awesome. Well, I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to get a few more rides in. So I'm going to ride safe, and if you're out riding, ride safe.